we are, it's been 10 years since we uploaded the very first episodes of Auto Tune the News, so what better time to do a look back at the channel? We gotta go back in time from Very Thin Ice to Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife, and we'll just surprise ourselves. How much will we beam with pride, and how much will we cringe into an abyss?
At Michael's request, Auto Tune the News too.
I haven't seen these like all the way through for so long.
I just remember that this is when YouTube messages still existed, and we got a message from like Ruth Marcus's teen daughter that was like, "My mom really likes this video." Is this the first ever Auto Tune the News dance, like fake dance move that Ruth Marcus is doing, or like Newt Gingrich is doing?
The Gingrich one is pretty good.
And this is where like Newt Gingrich really goes on a tear of being in an amazing number of Auto Tune the Newses. He's in 1 and 2.
Yeah, he's kind of low-key in the first 5, at least his name.
Wow. This is the first appearance of Junkie Einstein and the first appearance of the Angry Gorilla. I mean, this is 2 of our really most iconic characters. And the first appearance of Sean Hannity, who's a character unto himself.
Oh, we're talking about the Captain Phillips thing. It's crazy how all these stories turned out. Like, this was 6 years pre-marriage legalization, like across the country. I never would have guessed that it was going to be like that soon. It always felt like it was like another generation away, like lamely enough.
Yeah.
I'm glad I was wrong.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think I was asleep in bed when Michael came over. I'd gone to sleep really early one night, and Michael came over and shook me awake and was like, "Hey, will you lip sync this thing I sang?" I don't think you hear my voice in any of the videos for another like 8 or 10 episodes. But I was just lip syncing Michael's stuff, and I put on my jacket, I put on my shirt, and just did my best dance moves.
These are some of my favorite when we do the 2 people at the podiums.
That joke is low-key my favorite part of this video, just the sea, that means the ocean. I love that.
Sorry. I've got to take this.
Look at the background
You just see that.
of how they're just like pasted together.
It's just like
with like no
flipped.
feather.
Love you too, Grandma.
Hillary Clinton is just like totally frozen.
Anybody want to buy drugs from me?
I love that. That's like our first callback right there, you know, of the going back to the drugs. Where in your mind did the character of Junkie Einstein come from, do you think?
I have no idea. I think just responding to the drug segment and wanting to look under the influence and kind of loony. You know, like when news programs always have that loony person on the air because they want to like beat down on someone. So they're like, I'll get the kooky person that looks crazy and they support heroin legalization.
Right.
Or whatever.
It's like the best way of doing the straw man argument isn't lying about what someone is saying.
I'm going to be that guy, this character who's like, he's super libertarian, kind of like parodying like the Ron Paul ethos of the time.
I'm seeing, though, that we actually haven't named you Junkie Einstein here. And, of course, later in the series, we learned that you're a senator, a Republican senator from South Dakota. Libertarianism was much more popular in 2008, 2009, 2010, so we kind of pushed him to an extreme libertarian place that you see most in his magnum opus, Legalize Everything, where he wants to legalize asbestos toilet paper and poaching bald eagles, extreme religious sex and interspecies sex. Here he's just a pundit. You don't know that he's Junkie Einstein, Senator Junkie Einstein yet.
This was the first great accidental hook, the Very Thin Ice. Like before that, we had the accidental singing, but none of them had really been like radioable hooks yet.
And this is the first video when we should say this. This is the first video we ever made that got 1 million views, and it got 1 million views probably within, what do you think, Michael? 2 or 3 days, a week?
I don't know. Yeah, it probably wasn't even that fast. I mean, YouTube is inflated now, so at the time, 1 million views felt like, whoa, that's impossible. I still remember one of my favorite things that people roasted us for was when we blurred your mouth when you say
The S word.
When you say the S word.
But we don't bleep the S word.
But we don't bleep it. And the reason is, I think people thought it was like a mistake or that it was a weird choice. But actually, the reason we did it, again, everything was such a rush. I got you out of bed at like 2 a.m. Like your take was good, but you forgot to say shit, or you forgot to say a certain thing, and so I just blurred it.
I forgot though. I just missed that.
Yeah, you're just like totally still, but you kind of lean back. So when I blurred it, people assume that.
That's really funny.
It's getting blurred. One of the things that really blew it up outside of the YouTube community was it was on both Jay Leno. He happened to have Katie Couric as a guest, and this was happening. So it's like another funny thing to talk about. And then it was also on Rachel Maddow's show. She was really cool.
And she had you guys on the next week.
Yeah, she had us on later. They were really cool about like showing the whole video, and they showed a few videos afterward.
For a couple of videos, just when we put out a video, they'd be like, the Gregory brothers did another video, and just play it. It was really sweet of them. And then, like, the million videos thing is already really exciting, but it's especially exciting when this was put out, I think the channel had like 200 subscribers. So it's even crazier that to get 1 million views with 200 subs.
Yeah, I still remember we put this out and we had, I think it was like, you're right, in the couple hundred range. After this, like we crossed 1,000, and I was like, what? 1,000? That's impossible, bro.
Yeah.
In that accent, probably. Chugging protein shakes and talking about politics with Ruth Marcus, fictionally. Oh man, look at the Chiron, the C-SPAN, lesser known presidential candidates forum. It's such an amazing forum.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character is Barthus B. Bartholomew for some reason.
Yeah. He is moderator, questioner, and rockin' musical activist.
And this is one of the first times we ever did something with him. We've collaborated with him a few times over the years. It just basically came about because we were mutual fans. He had seen some of our videos.
We love hit record stuff, and didn't we do a thing with them before this that was the ACLU?
I didn't know I was doing anything wrong.
I think I hear somebody's liberty in danger.
Whoa, Benjamin Franklin?
That's right.
When you were Ben Franklin, right?
Well, we'll have to react to that in a different video.
Yeah.
React to our appearances.
Collaborations.
Yeah, and other people's
channels.
videos.
Let's just jump right into it.
And now we will hear a 2-minute closing statement from Vermin Supreme. I'll be accompanying you on my Strat.
I always love the camera look.
Vermin Supreme, and you can vote for me. It's like we'd sort of leveled up here in terms of making Songify the news, but a lot of the graphics still look like Auto-Tune the News.
Oh man, this is just one of my favorite hooks.
Turn again, melting away. This dude is so good, like you couldn't write something crazier than this.
Yeah.
He's turning gay.
Imagine picking that hill to die on.
I love it.
Don't vote. This is another all-time favorite of mine.
This is one of our best hooks ever.
Yeah, and we got way better at the comping. Like you and Andrew look the realest anyone's ever looked.
Yes. This is one of our best graphic achievements at the time.
That money, that cash, that money. That's the first time we used the megaphone. I like to use that a lot now.
And it sounds sick too.
Yeah. The arms, they look fake, but in a way, like...
Yep, this whole debate just turned into a huge party.
And these hands, like, again, this is like the first time we actually matted microphones over hands.
And made it look really real.
Like, they're glowing, like, super white, but other than that, it's pretty good. His look right there. Keep in mind, like, after this, maybe right after this, he won South Carolina. Like, he was a top contender. It was the perfect way to start Songify the News. It's sort of like Auto-Tune the News Season 2 because it had, like, really solid hooks. Joe, like, crushed it. That was a hard part, like, rhythmically and melodically to do all the falsetto. Turn.
We didn't let him phone it in. We gave him something really hard.
We gave him something hard, and he killed it. And then, like, with all the harmonies, we did, like, the upper and lower harmony, so it was this sick triad. So to, like, start it with that and end with the Get Money, it was, like, the perfect way to transition into like Songify because we had the app that we had just released.
I have to say, I feel like this exercise in reacting to your old videos was going to be like a major cringe fest because that's kind of the point. But this has just been a very pleasant walk down memory lane for me.
It's like a good balance of cringing and then just enjoying some decent hooks. I mean, like, it's funny, like listening to songs you wrote like so long ago, it almost doesn't feel like your own song anymore because it is now the world song. Like it is like, and also since they're like co-written with accidental singers, it's like, oh yeah, Newt Gingrich sang That Money, Vermin Supreme, and Joe sang the Turning Gay thing.
My favorite thing about going through all these videos, I think, is looking at how lots of these little pieces of things we did 9 and 10 years ago still influenced what we do today. Even though we've grown and improved our craft and all that stuff, it's like you can see the germ of all these ideas that we were coming up with.
Yeah, even in like number one, probably the most cringy one, Auto-Tune the News number one. Not because of like Sarah killed it.
Sure.
But I just mean like, we were still like figuring it out. Like there aren't any great accidental hooks. Maybe the rebound one is okay. And we were really just like lobbing one-liners after they said something.
Right.
But still, that was like on the road to like something that was better. So even through the cringe, I still enjoy it.
It's pretty amazing. Like most people have to go through a whole season of cringe.
To be fair, there's like privated and unlisted stuff that is like
That's true.
That's very cringy, and like lots of YouTubers have done that. Maybe we should just like public those. Before we were looking at Space People, and I'm definitely like cringing at myself, but I mean, I still like the Space People song. It's not like I'm anti-Space People. Jokes about dildos and mailboxes. I wouldn't be above that now. I'd be fooling myself if I think we matured beyond dildo jokes.
And finally, one of the most unusual pre-race prayers you will ever hear.
Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight for all your blessings. You said in all things give thanks. Thank you for technology and the 7 engines.
I mean, they really found a minister that is dedicated to the mission of NASCAR. Amen. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Amen.
Oh, we put in the dancing guy.
Amen. Yeah.
And I think some people might not know that he's quoting Anchorman.
The
NASCAR
Ricky
one.
Bobby.
Yeah, Ricky
the
Bobby.
legend of Ricky Bobby. Oh, look at our arm.
Yeah, we did lots of arm acting, like with the mandolin.
Yeah, and this was like an early video where we pulled a lot of like B-roll. Like up until this, I don't know if we'd pulled so much B-roll for a video.
Whoa, that comp doesn't look bad.
Arms look pretty good on the mandolin. This is like when we're starting to get a little bit better at our comps.
Nice jazz hands. Actually, that might be my hand. I'm not sure. Is it your hand?
I think it's mine, but I'm not.
This
sure.
is the first and maybe last country songification we did.
Yeah.
Right? We've done like country and bluegrass, like that's not songified, like an accidental singer. But I think this is the first. I mean, it had to be. The guy's voice is just so good.
But it just seems so obvious that it had to be country. And I remember I even played like a slide like guitar part on it because we were like, this needs to have kind of like it could make it a little bit more country in terms of like the modern country here with like so much pedal steel. I talked to this guy on the phone after we put the video out, and he was the sweetest guy. He just thought it was hilarious, and he was just like, my wife thinks this is hilarious, my church thinks this is hilarious, like I can't believe how much attention this is getting. I forgot, but it is from the Legend of Ricky Bobby. Do other racers say that?
No, Boogity, that's not the thing he took. He was just talking about the smoking hot wife, and that's like from the famous prayer scene.
Right. I think the boogity amen might be from like a famous NASCAR announcer or something. I later found out.
Yeah, the boogity amen is like a thing. It's not like it just like came out of nowhere. But I don't know the origin of this thing, nor do I plan on researching it.
Yeah,
it just is this.
I admit, honestly, at this point, we've reached the absolute limit of my knowledge of NASCAR.
Boogity! Let's go racing in the desert, boys!
What's all that stuff next to you?
The brown circles are chocolate cookies called Oreos, and the other things are crackers.
And why is he in the middle of them?
I'm not really sure, but I think it's because he likes to eat cookies and crackers so much that he made a big pile of them in his bed, and then he fell asleep while he was eating them.
Do you want to keep cookies and crackers in your bed while you sleep?
Well, my bed is a bunk bed.
Do you think some critters might come and try to eat your food? Some critters named Gus and Ollie?
Tiny Daddy went to help him and picked up some more milk, and then Tiny Daddy got squished, and Uncle Michael helped wake him back up.
But how?
But
How
what?
How did he get squished?
Well, he's tiny.
Yeah, he's so tiny.
Have you ever, like, accidentally stepped on a bug or something? Never? One of my strongest memories of this song is how contentious it got in the studio between me and Michael.
Really?
Yes,
I don't remember this
because
at all.
you were coaching me into a vocal sound that was really hard for me to achieve, and I was so frustrated.
Oh, wow.
Because the range is not a great range for me. It's just a really large range.
Key changed it. It was
No,
probably lazy and
it's-
wanted to play in G.
No, it's just the no, it wasn't that. It was just the song itself is just such a, and I was so frustrated. And you were like, "You can do it. Just do it." I was like, "Okay." Yeah, honey. Look, this is a cute one. It's at the river.
What's that muddy guy?
Who's that muddy guy? Who's that muddy monster?
It's so
That's
like
Michael.
dark. We're like
The lighting is so
the
different.
lighting is
yeah.
different, and you're like glowing because we green screened you.
Okay, here we go. Oh, the babies. I forgot about the babies.
It's a baby song.
This is a sweet song. Look at all those little Michaels.
What? No, it's babies.
I mean babies.
It's not me.
Real.
They're just pretend. Look, it's like a Rose Michael baby, a Gus Michael baby, and an Ollie Michael baby.
How many times do you think we jumped off for this video?
That's a good question.
It had to be like 70 or something, right? I was just throwing it out there. Like 6 dozen.
Did you guys just remind me how you did it? I mean, did you just like keep looping? You just ran? How many people are jumping?
There are probably like 5 of us. So each of us maybe jumped off, I don't know, 10 to 15 times.
Right.
How far are you falling?
Is it
What's the
pretty
drop?
low?
It depends on the tide, but it might be up to 15 feet. It's not that far.
Oh, there's a.
That's Agu.
Oh, right.
That slow motion is like,
Oh, so is that Timmy with the long hair?
yeah.
These are all our friends. We had a bunch of friends at the river.
Ooh.
That was a good catch.
That was a good catch. I'm proud of that to this day.
Never have to say. Oh, that landed right on top of it. That was a good throw. I remember the claps always being really hard, even in live performance for me. You can tell I'm not a drummer.
It's so hard to decide what to watch in this video because there's like so much happening.
Going on.
And the edit is like still so simple.
That's one of Michael or Andrew's shirts, I think. Our costume department was just your closets for so many years.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because we're filming underneath a bed. Like you can tell when I messed up when it suddenly cuts on one of the babies.
Nice. Oh, and one of the babies is wearing our own swag.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Andrew on my shirt.
Oh, right.
Yes. R.I.P. annotations.
Here we go.
I miss annotations. You can make them whatever you wanted. Follow the link below. I wonder if that link is broken. Can you see if the link's broken now?
Yeah, totally.
What did you think of that
you
video?
You didn't like it?
The main thing I remember about that video is just that I really kicked myself we didn't shoot it in the morning.
Oh,
sure. It would have been lit oppositely.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but I'm sure we were sleeping in because high tide was probably early.
Yeah,
it was.
All of us are in our mid to late 20s. Like, no way you're.
It's not an option to wake up at 7
a.m. to shoot this.
The link actually exists below. It's an iTunes link. But underneath the video, this is a really annoying thing that's like now a YouTube feature. This video is #DIM. And this happened on a lot of our videos because we would put the chord below the video. And so lots of our videos just say #M, and I forgot to go edit it because I forgot that hashtags exist now. So whenever I say the chords below and I say F sharp minor, C sharp minor,
funny.
it thinks that I'm trying to tell the video like metadata, like this is #M. New hashtag sponsored by M&M's or whatever. Were you mad about the like range of the song or just like the style that
You just had a very clear audio vision for the song, and that included the vocals, and you like really coached me into this specific like kind of fuller sound on the chorus instead of my
voice?
usual, like sometimes my belt can get kind of like thin and yelly, and you were like, no. You weren't settling for for anything less than
Sorry for
my
being a
best.
pain.
No, it's okay. It sounds great. You were right.
This is like an insanely hard song to sing live, but we have sung it live, and you sounded great.
Thanks.
You can actually hit all these melismas. It's like one of those songs you want to sing along with, but if I sing along with it, I don't have the melisma skill, which is when you're like gliding around.
And
So
I do remember a debate about down scoops versus up scoops.
Oh, I was trying to get you to do down scoops.
Yes, and I didn't even know that was a thing, and it took I couldn't make my voice do it.
You're really good at down scoops now, though, right?
I'm better than I was then, but I remember being like, I am doing that. Aren't I doing that?
Yeah, that's just one of those things that it's impossible at first, and then after a while, it just becomes more natural. It's like rolling your R's. You just got to do a little flip.
Let's hear it.
I would not like un burrito. No, sir. I would like un burrito.
It's really been practicing. You really put in the time.
This was probably the third baby song, right?
What were the other baby songs?
There were like vlogs where baby songs were mixed in. There was the Mullet Baby song, which was just a little while. The first one, though, was OMG.
OMG, you're the one for me.
And then the fourth one was Hello Again.
But it's much harder to pretend that we're only two old friends. So let's sing hello again.
Do you miss baby songs or?
Yeah, well, I don't know. That's tough. I would want to do like more everything because I still have liked like every series that we've done on the channel, even the ones that like performed worse either critically, like they got ratioed, or whatever. Like for example, I loved like the Morkel video we did, even though like that one tanked and people thought we were trying to trick them into thinking it was a prank. Or baby songs that like would tank relatively, even if they did like fine. But I don't know. I think it's good and healthy for a channel to have like a bunch of different types of videos, even if certain ones are gonna gun for easier virality or getting more views or whatever.
I'd go for a whole album of baby songs, for sure.
We should do it.
I guess in a way, a lot of the songs we've written in the last 5 years that would be baby songs have ended up being Morkel songs on the second channel. Like, Riding down 7th Avenue.
Out of breath, hand in hand.
Yeah, we've still done a lot of originals, and actually I don't think this has been revealed to the many people that it would shock, but there was actually another baby song that never got dropped that then we sort of dropped last year as a collaboration with Rumi, but we didn't release. It was just released as a song. It was like part of this bizarre musical about being in love with a slice of pizza.
And I don't care if it's pouring rain. I won't have no reason to complain.
You can really hear stylistically that song, the way it's kind of like peppy, but you can really hear in like some of those like diminished chords and lyrically and vibe-wise what it has in common with songs like this. It was like definitely revised and made better since like it was drafted like...
The babies are probably really getting big now and growing up.
Yeah, at this point they gotta be at least 5 years old.
Who knows what they're singing these days?
I think I gave birth to one of the babies in the video.
My water just broke. It's a boy.
That's the one that's always shirtless, is the baby. just a little baby always, you know how the babies are, they just take off their clothes. So, it'd be 9, right? Came out of the womb singing.
Walk with me until we find an empty street. I'll kiss you on the mouth and sweep you off your feet.